Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about how to use Excel to do the so-called AND, OR, and NOT. So basically, in Excel, we do some kind of logical operations. So like we consider a set of values, and we want to find whether a value is greater than or something, or less than or something. We want to ask if this number is blah blah blah, satisfying some condition, then print out this, otherwise print out that. So we introduced how to use if. And today we're going to combine multiple conditions, multiple comparison operations, and make them into complicated operations. So the example is here. Suppose that I have a data set where I have each day, and for each day I have the weather situation. One means sunny day, two means cloudy day, and three means rainy day. I also have the temperature, which is the average daily temperature, and some outcomes of daily rentals. Okay, so suppose I want to understand, or I want to investigate the impact of weather on the rental outcomes. So I define something that is called bad weather. I say, I think if it's too cold, if the temperature is less than 15, then the weather is bad. Or if it is rainy, or if the weather, the column here, if the weather situation is 3, I think it is a bad weather. Either this or that defines bad weather. And I believe if the weather is bad on that day, then I don't think the outcome would be good. I don't think I will get the daily rental that is more than 4,500. So here, of course, you may define all the thresholds by yourself. It does not need to be 15, right? Does not need to be 4,500. These are just some numbers I choose to form this example. Okay, so I'm going to first take a look at the temperature column and the weather situation column. I want to see whether for each day that temperature is less than 15 or the weather situation is 3. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask, well, is it true that temperature is less than 15? So I know what I may do is that I can select this temperature value and say if this number is less than 15, then I can say I want to have this cell containing 1, otherwise containing 0. This is something I know how to do on the if condition. Okay, so I can see this is 1 because 14 point something is less than 15. So now what I want to do is that I want to add that weather part into this condition. So the way that I'm going to do is that I'm going to use the function called OR. For this OR function, I can input multiple logical operations. Okay, logical 1, logical 2, logical 3, logical 4. Input whatever number of logical operations as you want, just in this way. So D3 less than 15 is my logical 1. And then weather situation equals 3 is my condition 2. So that means either this is true or that is true. In either case, then I consider the outcome as true. Then I print out 1. Otherwise, I print out 0. Okay? So I can see this is 1, of course, because temperature is low enough. Or this is 1 because temperature is still low enough. So these are very cold, very cold, very cold. And then we come to here. Okay, we see some 0. This is 17. 17 is greater than 15. And this is not 3. So that's why this is considered as a good weather. And then it is labeled as 0. Bad weather, too cold, bad weather, too cold, and so on and so on and so on. So gradually we get to summers, and we can see that, okay, here we get again a lot of days where the weather is hot. So we get a lot of zeros. Okay, this city is weird because there is no rain in here. Okay, so sometimes we see the weather is hot, but we get a rainy day. So that's why this is 1. Okay, so that's OR. Whenever one of the conditions is true, we consider it as true. So now I want to see the next thing. I want to see whether there is a day that the weather is bad, and the CNT is greater than 4,500. So I do the same trick. I want to combine two conditions. Condition 1 is whether this H3, H4 is 1. And the condition 2 is CNT greater than or equal to greater than 4,500. So how should I do that? I use AND. AND. AND, again, just like OR. You input several logical operations. Like here, I'm going to say, okay, is this 1? And is this greater than 4,500? If both of them are true, then I consider this as true. And then I label it as 1. Otherwise, I label it as 0. So I get 0 because this number is too small. And then we can take a look. Okay, we have a lot of zeros because the outcome is not very good. And then we move down. Okay, so gradually we can see that almost all the values here are 0. Why is that? Because this number is not chosen in the right way. So let me say that again. So what we're trying to do here is that we're considering all these two values, right? We're saying that whether this is 1 and whether this is greater than 4,500. We want to see whether we have any weather that is having a bad weather. So how about this? We're going to use a filter. Okay, indeed we have some 1s here. So let's take a look at those 1s. The weather is bad, but we have a lot of rentals. The weather is bad, we have a lot of rentals. So you may take a look at all these cells. For example, you can see, okay, we still have 34 days out of the 2 years that the weather is bad, but the outcome is good. Okay, so this is a way for us to do some kind of filtering. Of course, you may say, well, if I can do filtering, I can do multiple filtering and get the same result. Oh, that's true. But if you use functions like if and whatever, if you use functions, it's going to help you to do some more complicated applications, some more complicated calculations. So it's still useful. Okay, so that's and or. So if you are interested in NOT, you may take a look. NOT is that you enter a condition, it tells you whether this is true or not. But anyway, that's not very useful. So and or is more important.